I've actually been getting this question quite often. I got this question years ago. I've got this question recently. What are my thoughts on Bitcoin? To be honest with you, a few years ago, I kind of flirted with Bitcoin, didn't really get too in depth with it, didn't take it too seriously. But these last 4 months, I've been doing a lot of research, talking to people in my little inner circle and mentors and such. My thesis on Bitcoin is that Bitcoin will be the future. A lot of people think it's still quite speculative. Is it gonna have traction? Is it gonna take off? And the fact of the matter is that there's like 500,000 wallets every day, new wallets every day. There's like 500 million people in the world that already have wallet addresses. Bitcoin is real. 0.5% of the world's energy production is going into mining Bitcoin, Bitcoin security. Most countries are in a freaking race to stock up Bitcoin and sats. For me, I see the writing is on the wall. You have a digital asset that's limited. There's only 21 million Bitcoins. I think they've mined like 18 or 19 million. I like Bitcoin. I am bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is gonna be the future. I don't have all my money in Bitcoin, but I have a good subset of my wealth and cash in Bitcoin and similar assets like Coinbase, Kraken, MicroStrategy. I like Bitcoin. If nothing else, simply it's good to have some money somewhere that cannot be taken. If you lose your cold card, it's gone forever. They can't recover it, they can't restore it, they can't get your Bitcoin you lost. Look at what happened in Canada a few years ago. The truckers that were protesting, they got their bank accounts frozen. They didn't freeze any Bitcoin as long as it was outside of the exchanges. Having some money that can't be taken is not a bad thing. I like that Bitcoin is finite. The amount of money printing going on is insane. The increase in money supply is massive. They're printing money, they're bleeding out value. They're becoming worth less and less and less. If you just work very, very hard, you save up money, you work hard, you save up money, you work hard, you save up money, you're never gonna have wealth. They're printing money too fast. It's very, very hard to become wealthy. That's why people in real estate got so rich, because they levered up. They borrowed money, they bought these buildings, they printed more money, their assets went up, but on a multiple because they were levered, and they just became very, very wealthy. So Bitcoin is finite. There's only 21 million Bitcoin, they've mined 18 million, and as they print more money, the value of Bitcoin theoretically will go up as more and more people adopt it. BlackRock's trying to do a spot ETF, ARK is wanting to do a spot ETF. The financial institutions want to open up an easy way for people to put money into Bitcoin without having to get an exchange and create cold cards and do all these other steps. So the adoption is happening. There's already like 500,000 new wallets getting created every single week. Apparently there's like 500 million wallets. Countries are buying Bitcoin. The adoption is happening. So as Bitcoin becomes more adopted, as they continue to print money, it's going to do well. But Bitcoin, of course, it's very volatile. So you have to be able to handle that volatility. It's very volatile, but it still has been probably one of the best performing assets in the world in the last 12 years. So I actually like Bitcoin. You have to be careful, obviously, because you have to make sure when you own Bitcoin, it's very, very secure. You have to be unemotional, be able to handle the big downs and ups. So if you're very reactive emotional, you could easily lose. You have to put in a certain amount of money that you're comfortable with. And you also have to choose your level of involvement. There's some people that are putting all of their wealth into Bitcoin, like Michael Saylor. He's putting, I think he had $500 million of cash. He was like, I need to do something with this. You put it all into Bitcoin. So some people are putting all their money into Bitcoin. I obviously wouldn't do that. Some people are putting in 1% or 10%. So you choose your own level of involvement, but I actually really do like Bitcoin. And I like that it's secure. Government can't freeze your Bitcoin as long as you are holding it correctly. It's finite. You put money into Bitcoin. I think these next 4 or 5 years, it's gonna do very, very well. I mean, ultimately, really, it's like you choose your own level of involvement. If you have free cash flow, you don't want to just sit on tons and tons of cash. You wanna have some money working for you. And I think that Bitcoin is going to do well. I think it's gonna do well because they're printing more money. Bitcoin's finite. More people are adopting it. They're about to open the floodgates with these ETF approvals. It's a powerful network. It's a secure network. So I like Bitcoin, but there's other places to put your money as far as real estate, Microsoft, Apple, SP 500. But I actually like Bitcoin, and I've allocated a good chunk, a good portion of my wealth into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is also a little bit of a fuck you. It's a little bit of a fuck you to the big institutions that frickin' control all the money, that build all the wealth while you get poor, while you work your ass off, save money, and you can never really create any financial freedom. They're printing way too much money. It's like you're frickin' filling a bucket with a massive hole in it. Here's an asset. It's finite. It's not gonna be manipulated. We're not gonna be printing doing more of it and you can put money there, and if you can handle the volatility and you can be unemotional, you can do very, very well. So I think that Bitcoin is good. I like Bitcoin. I have taken the time to really learn as much as I can, and I actually recommend that before you even buy any Bitcoin, do as much research as you can. It always is better to invest in something that you understand, that you know, that you believe in. If you invest in something that is just off the word of a friend or off a video or someone else, that's weak conviction. It's much better to invest in something when you understand it fully. And so I should recommend, if you have time, learn about Bitcoin. There was a good video I watched with Michael Saylor and Tucker Carlson that really helped me really understand fully. So I recommend learning before you really even buy any. Pick your own level of involvement, but don't be dumb. Don't put too much in. And again, it's one of those things where you don't want to overextend yourself because it's a volatile market. If you're down and then you need cash, it's not a good position. So you want to always be in a secure spot. This is good advice for people that have good incomes, that have cash flow. The most important thing is just developing a skill and building your ability to be valuable in the marketplace, to make money. But once you're in a point where you have a good income, you have free cash flow, then the question is, how do I use it? How do I use it so I actually can build wealth? Because having cash sitting in your bank account is not building wealth. You're losing wealth. In fact, crazy, I was seeing this, the rate of the money supply is increasing so fast that if you had like all the money in the world, in 100 years, you'd have like 0.1% of the world's wealth. The money supply is effectively doubling every 7 years. If you have $1 million and you do nothing, in 7 years, it's worth $500,000 as far as buying power. And we know this because we can feel the inflation. We see it. That cool condo you wanted to buy 7 years ago is twice the price. So this is a good thing to figure out. Where do I put my excess cash flow so I don't bleed wealth? You don't have to do Bitcoin. You can do a small amount, or you can do real estate, or you can buy Microsoft or stuff like that. And you have to do your own research and really understand what you're doing. Because if you don't understand it and things are down or things are shaky, you're gonna be reactive and you're gonna put yourself in a really bad position. So I really recommend understanding it. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Are you guys into Bitcoin? Let's hear from you. Since the 80s, men have lost their mojo. The mojo's been gone, and I'm here to bring the mojo back. If you guys wanna try the mojo before it sells out, I love this stuff. There's not a better supplement to support testosterone levels on the market than this, the Kino Mojo. I think that having high testosterone levels is a secret advantage in life. It's gonna give you that extra drive, that extra ambition, that extra leadership. It's gonna make taking risks more fun. It's gonna make effort feel more fun. Best thing to do is get your levels checked now. Take this for 2-3 months and see where your levels are, as well as doing those steps. You're gonna find you can actually get your levels to a much healthier level.